Kwaziwa Muria, Zimbabwe, and welcome to the very first episode of Touchline Africa, a podcast brought to you by Max Sports, where we talk African sport from an African point of view. My name is Tafara leading you on this journey, and I'm joined by my co-host, Bryce Wadi
Rufamber.
Bo. So today's episode is centered around controversy, accountability, and African football governance. With AFCON under wraps, it's by right we look into that first. Bryce, from your point of view, what went wrong? Because actually could jump around the bush and going around in circles and say, hey, did it go wrong? Did it go right? What happened? What went wrong in the final?
AFCON, the AFCON final. In fact, finals in general are just hard. They're difficult. For me, I was actually seeing this clip by Thierry Henry, where he was saying that whatever happened to AFCON, it's not something that will dictate like African football or like the nature of African football. But he blames the FAs, for instance, Anana CAF and all that, for not actually equipping the referees to manage such big games. Was the AFCON final? Yeah, that was a tough game. Was Morocco are trying? They're the host. That's the host of yes. You want to do a little something in it. So it's crazy, man. But what happened for me? I don't justify Senegal for boycotting the game. I don't justify that. It's not how football should be like. But at the same time, there was some, for instance, the first goal that Senegal scored. Wadagona goal here. From our eyes, maybe boys also had no ball. From our eyes, that goal seemed valid. But the ref was like, nah, no, it's not. It's what? I mean, offside, whatever decision they made. And then came the Diaz foul. So Papa Tony tension with that. I think what you are said that feed football,
No,
the lads are telling the tension. Tension in ngeri papo.
what's it?
Raga. Those types of game. And kuti kind of, let's say pakatwa decision pep tanga and it of a controversy during the game and it unotoziva wega kuti yeah, like it brings in tension so that even if that foul was justifiable, right? There's tension yoti matrambira one. Ndo zvakaitika pagame iroro. But either way, Senegal won, football won. Yeah, that day,
but then
football won.
But I feel like a lot of things were not right. As much as you're saying Kuti, I agree with you, Kuti, Senegal was not right for boycotting. Naifunga tuchataura nyaya yematauro futi, but waramba kuibata nyaya yematauro akachitorwa. But I feel like it wasn't right for Senegal to kuti varamwire game. That was not right because them winning, they owe that to Mfeso Yakaso one kuti no, come back, the game is not over, because that is not sportsmanship. When it comes to Africa, like it's really not sportsmanship, just like walking off the field, game resetted appear, because you need to understand whether you win or lose, sportsmanship in your end of day. And they even ended up winning it. So imagine kana vangatorama zvekuti hatichatori bhora rachona zvagara ipapo, Morocco would have won by default, but they didn't. So I feel
but that win,
yeah.
But what I wanna, or if you closely look at that win, right? It was now a mental thing, because now imagine and utamba maflau. I don't know what sport you played at your school, but let me give the most basic on maflau, and then maflau. Do you more of like the African version in dodgeball, where kana munhu anditi ukatsetsura anti other people be like,
that
Tsetsu is
way.
not a ball, Tsetsu is a ball, meaning good waroa, or like the ball hits you and all that. So, kana umwe munhu akarambirwa manje handiti, and then moti achata game makazodzoka and these guys are relaxed, are like I know what game rapera, so their mind is no more game anymore. Ndo zvakaitika paya paya yaisiri mugame chichi because ingadai Diaz akatora pena yaya in the heat of things. I can, you cannot tell me kuti munhu anotambira Real Madrid opotsaka pena, although pena yacho yakazoita zvake, that's blame on him. I think he was trying to order farm or something and ziuta yoda kuite.
That's not fair. I feel like that's very unfair because, like, I feel like we should actually check up on him because mental health, there's probably so many people, like even online, where I told no one would hey, he missed it on purpose. How can he miss that? Whatnot, whatnot. He just tried doing Hakimi's trick. The way I pronounce it, so I can avoid the skill. Taura sitara chuna hood.
Taura timunakiro.
Seconds different. I know it's not what I'm thinking because you're wangotchi this up and that Taura sitara chuna. So it should be Panenka. The
Yeah,
Gonaka.
you got it right. Eh.
Panchek. But because he was trying the Panenka, right? If he had gotten it right, Mimi might also celebrate him and say, hey, go Bona, he did so well, whatnot, whatnot. That's the drawback with certain skills when you try doing them. There's two ends to it. Waka go sapa nenkaka. People will look at the goalkeeper. Munano player. What's your record like? Your history and all of that. How could you miss that ball? And it also goes to the player. If the player misses it, you guys will now be laughing and like clowning the player, which is currently happening right now. So either way, Papa Chango Itika lost. And regardless, I feel like regardless of what style of penalty you would have taken, people, and he missed it, people would have still clowned him for it, regardless of, because think about it, they're the hosts. I don't think they've ever won AFCON before. Have they? I don't think
Let me
Morocco
check.
has ever won AFCON before. Yeah.
No, he just
They've never
won.
won AFCON before. Really?
What?
But
I
anyways,
promise, Dev. Let
been
me
a
check
long
it.
time. But still, it's probably been a very long time since they AFCON. Saka, with that in mind, imagine the whole nation has their eyes on you. They're relying on you. Apparently, you're thinking, Kuti, let me just, miss the shot. Just like that. And you think people will be okay with it. And I'm waiting on purpose. I genuinely don't think so. Because a lot of people will be analyzing it. Oh, going out,
But he packaged
but
Gano Bora.
huh?
But the package nebora, it's bound to happen, unfortunately. Those zvitori bora ana mesi vambopotsa mapena wani takatowatuka hatimiri kutuka isu tototuka.
Yeah, but one of my but when it now comes to praising and all of that, that's unfortunate that people don't prioritize praising or looking at the good. Pakangoetika one mistake makutoti ko zvazvifamba sei.
Aiwa ndiri ipapo. I'm trying to look at Morocco yakambowina, but I think in a one chat. In a one 19 ichi mira handichaoni futi 1976 tatsati tambozvarwa.
Nyangwe vabereki vangu vangasati vatombozvarwa at that time. So there was a lot of pressure on him, and I don't think it was like a purposeful miss, genuinely speaking.
Yeah, I know it's all right. But on that topic, Morocco apparently the streets are saying that Morocco, they're appealing for AFCON to be stripped of Senegal. What's your point on that?
I feel like now they're just being childish. Like, they're now like grasping at straws. Like, okay, we get it, Kuti. Senegal shouldn't have done that. But that does not beat the fact that Waka loser. because now they're being sore losers. And it's like, okay, they're taking advantage of the mistake that Senegal made, which is a big mistake. I'm not saying it's an excusable mistake, but I feel like Morocco's now pushing it. Like they're pushing it. And
You
even Waka
know,
win a trophy that China, it won't have the meaning because they didn't win because of skill. Because this was not a skill issue. They'd be winning that trophy just because of how, what's it called? Senegal reacted in the game, not because they're better than Senegal. So I feel like it would be a petty win.
but though, mutemo iwo unoti hanangu kuutarisa ndiri kuutsvaga izvezvi. I'm looking for the hands according to article 82. I mean izvezvo zvokunana FIFA ikokoko ingadai ndandauya nanyatsotsverenga. Hanzi what is article 32? Article 32 apparently inoti kana team ikabuda mugame, the team yasara pitch is the team that have won. So are you saying kuti rules shouldn't work on this instance?
That's not what I'm saying. But thing is, it shouldn't take them this long for them to rule it out. They should have stopped the game then and they could, Mabuda field, let's cancel the match. That's it. Game over. Not then continuing after. Because that's why I feel like now you want to put the rules after Pawana Senegal, that doesn't make sense to me. So I'm not saying let's rule out the rule book, Iowa. But I'm saying that they knew this. That's why people should say my referees and all of that. People who put judgment into the game. They should act quickly and ipapo because things like this. Now look, AFCON yakatoperaka, and we're still dragging the story. So to me, it's like, why didn't you do it on the day? What took so many days? After just makatengo or something like that. In my opinion.
Yeah,
What?
definitely. But I know life will always be life. For me, I like the controversy part because I enjoy controversy a lot. To me, it's like comedy. So let us pack on us and I want things to stay this way. But from a professional perspective, game raifanga kungira ngoti AFCON kana maplayers isindika pakati chad refototi by default Morocco atowana game. Kutotomira uda kuona kuti maplayers achadzoka here achaita sei. That's mabuza type of mentality game. Sunday league yekuti kana team iri achad or we don't want anymore, then you wait, you more softer moita sei asi musikana ari kusoftwa ka. You see where like you're supposed to use the book like through thick and thin. Murungoti, since they have boycotted the game, it's done and dusted. Because the moment they retaliated and they were like, nah, we ain't doing that, those lads should have just lost. But either way, as I said, the script writers wanted Senegal to win. And those script writers, when they were writing this script, they were on flames. Oh, to piece on, yo.
One, but I guess something like you're saying, Kuti, I thought that guy said, Kuti, AFCON should not represent African football. That's not a true representation of what it is. Because even Matambere and all of that, like, it's kind of different. And it's just a whole new perspective and everything like that. But I think AFCON shangles on my streets, Kuti, but to be honest with you, I don't think that they're gonna take it further or much longer because it's been almost a week now and they haven't even updated about it. So I think it's just gonna be wrapped and all that. Sakato celebrator, Senegal winning and all of that. Also, Morocco itself is quite controversial. Them, Bachiti, African, not African and all of that. So they're already controversial on top of that. Then now they want to win. But don't go to Samsung at the end of the I feel like they're very picky on what they want and what they think they deserve. So, Amen.
But if you were Diaz, how would you react?
To what?
How would I react? Unoita say like like from that point up until now, ndiwe Diaz chimboti illustrate kuti upenyu hwako unenge hwakamira sei.
Kuillustrate andozosimuka akandotoita kunge ndakamira just by the goals ndaona kuti ndamisa. I feel like I'd be distraught. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's why I said we need to check up on him, like mentally, physically. Guys, my mental health issues they're skyrocketing and people need help. And especially like how I was saying,
yeah. Mira. On that, we should check up on him, Andidi. So do you agree that as a country, we should check up on Nakamba?
Why are we checking up on Nakamba?
You made a mistake. It's a mistake.
Mental health affects in what sense? What happened with Nakamba? Till Bryce. Tell us why we should check up on him.
Everyone knows.
Mental health.
No.
And this is,
I'm not gonna describe that.
Why is Nakamba's mental health on the line?
I'm not gonna re-describe it my way. I'm not gonna re-describe that event because it's very painful to us as a nation. You know, Nakamba is a professional and I'm going to I was like, viewing things from his side, it makes sense. Kuti arikona kunge bora chapinda saka yechi you know, the Superman of that moment, you know, he comes and says, but that whole game, Nakamba was painful. Irregardless, it's not about Nakamba. Let's go back on that Diaz because ndafita na rochema izvo. Mchitotaura nyaya iyoyo.
But Nakamba apologize. Diaz apologize.
Yeah, he did on Twitter. Check.
Oh, Saka, you see, thing is, first with these cases, we need to realize, do they understand what they did hurt us as Zimbabweans, hurt Moroccans, hurt whatever nationality they were representing at AFCON? But with that, do they realize that the mistake they made let us down? And also, what are they going to do about it? Because one thing is, you can just be like, yeah, I missed it. Then that's all. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're top papo. But what are you going to do to, like, what's it called? To regain our trust? Because next time, in 4 years' time, Nakamba Footy is in our team. People are going to be like, last time Chicha Kaitika, this time is anything gonna change? What's gonna happen? Takamudzo Safuti. But
I just don't want
exactly. I just want exactly. And many people will be like that. Asha, we put so much trust in you and look what you did to us. Because mistakes happen, but mistakes should not keep happening again. The same mistake, there's no way you can keep repeating the same mistake because but I think if I was Diaz, first in any personally me, I'm a crier. And what ndakaona kuti apapaka one on the field, seeing that everything will freeze around me. Ndotomboroa neka shock, like I was not expecting this to happen. Because I think everyone was shocked. Because even if you look at my players, when it happened, you can see genuinely people were just shocked. Like, this is what I want. But after that, you know, I would try to accept it quickly because I feel like right now Morocco is still in denial. That's why Barkudakuita appeal and all of that, because they're in denial, like that should not have happened. Yes, that is what happened. So coming to terms with everything that happened is key. After accepting, the ndotanga kuchinja manje. Seriously, maitiro. Because now I'm gonna start training like crazy. And with training, that's what you taught about also panye sim football and all that. with our league about to start in March, we have like what's less than 2 months now for it to start. It's about training now, so I can avoid that same mistake happening. And with that training, it needs to be shown to people, because you can say, "Kuti, I'm training," but we're not seeing it. For all I know, and you're not even training. So we need to see evidence, proof, Kuti. Yeah, I'm working to change. Yeah, I'm working to not repeat the same mistake. That's what we want to see as fans from our football stars.
It's a fair point.
Saka
It's a fair
Kuti,
point. If I were,
if you were Diaz,
if I were Diaz, all right. To be honest, Indra Diaz, yeah, it would break me big time. It would break me big time. It's not easy, you know. Some people don't even come back for it. I'm gonna give an instance of this Italian player. Yeah, World Cup final. Imagine you have the decisive goal and you miss it. People say the guy who died on the field. That was the narration that was given to this guy's story, you know. And it's what you do after that is what then dictates. Are you that hero who stumbled, or you forever be a loser? But for Diaz, I believe he's gonna do well. He's quite a professional guy. He's got Champions League. That's something to brag about. Imagine to win Champions League. Sure. But if I were Diaz, yeah. Just as you said, I'll lock in full time. I'll start actually pushing that fire. Yeah, I'm not that guy, you know. It's a point in my career that will really detect if I get forward or stay back or stay where I am. Because Nangora Papo, if I stay in that specific direction, position, I'll go nowhere. Literally. I just have to now man up and use it as a way to keep on pushing, to motivate others, even myself. Because there are going to be more moments like this. Mapena no pot. I believe it's one of the most difficult things to take because it seems so easy, but the pressure around it, it's like a free throw in basketball. Shaka garage mapot.
said
You see, so
earlier, Kuti, like you said earlier, Kuti, when it comes to the game, you need to be prepared to lose, because either way, one person is gonna win and one person is gonna lose. Not everyone's a winner. If Senegal had lost, also my sweaty here, what were they expecting? When I'm a team more, when my players are in Morocco, all of this, like, to be honest with you, I think this was the best case scenario. Like, outcome. This was the best outcome, because now it shows, Kuti, there's other countries who are not as much in the limelight that can also do it, that also have the capabilities. So personally, even though Senegal was acting funny and did not have sportsmanship, I'm glad they won, because it takes the light off of certain players. And also it shows that regardless of, like you're saying, Kuti, ane Premier League, ane this and that skill set, you still need to be in the present moment. Don't be backed up by your history. Don't be backed up with, me, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this, I've got that. What does the opposing team have, like, that could possibly beat me? Neptunyaye pride ka. You're not gonna resist a game. Like you're saying, Kuti, a man can die on the field. That's because when you went on the field, you went with a huge ego. You went with such a high expectation. Kuti, ininika, I'm gonna do the best. I'm gonna do this and this and that. If you go in knowing, Kuti, I'm gonna try my best. There's a possibility it won't go my way, but I will still try. You are easier to take the loss well. Because I'm telling you right now, when you ask Kuti Nakamba, we should check up on him. To be honest, I don't think so. Because I feel like mentally he's mature enough to understand, Kuti, there's wins and there's losses. Whether those wins or losses were intentional, cannot. Yeah, but I think he's mature enough to have. I personally think he's over it right now. Kuti, that was the game. that's how it ended. That's it. Now we move on. So with Nakamba, how he's dealt with the loss, he's already done with it. With Diaz, I'm not sure how long it will take him to get over it or how much, because a lot was on the line. I feel like he put on the line a lot on the line for himself. So now he's now counting his losses. You take a while to actually get over it. So yeah, that's the outcome here, AFCON.
Yakatopera paya mana atopisa. That's life, you know. That's life. Talking of UCL or Champions League, basically, not UCL. Africa, we have our own Champions League, but people don't really put much focus or energy into it. I mean, what's your viewpoint on what do you think with the Champions League Day? Because that's a big tournament. It's a continent thing of clubs. Continent participate. Zimbabwe there, but yeah, unfortunately, I think it was Scotland. I said Abuda, and I'm not sure. And Scotland yet. But I know good is Zim we are in the Nanchifunga of the 1 year Zimbabwe last season.
With CAF, right? I feel like it's more of we don't have as exciting games because we don't have a lot of big names. I feel like that's the difference between Premier League and CAF. Because right now, like you're saying, Kuti, even me, I don't even know most of the teams in the league. But if you ask someone right now, Kuti, name me 5 teams that are playing in the Premier League. I'm not talking the power, if I'm not talking the SMA teams and the standings and the people, the points. I don't put that in detail because it's more interesting to them. It has more hype and also it's been there longer than CAF also. And when CAF started, right, I feel like, of course, there's hype. Kutia was starting something, but they didn't take it when it comes to media to the way we can compare it to Premier League, because I feel like it's unfair to compare the two because they are not the same. And unfortunately, they are not the same. Well, they should be the same. I think they should be the same. But I feel like it's more of like people prefer knowing about international stars because if you think about it, when you think about CAF, right, it's more about local talents. How much do people know about local talents? Are people interested in investing in local talents compared to the international playfield? So I feel like that's where our problem is, that people really aren't interested. Now I feel like we're getting there. Slowly by surely we're getting there, especially with AFCON and all of that. I feel like now CAF has a chance to actually like grow their name. Okay, AFCON Tapienza under CAF. What's next? What more can we do now? People right now are still in the AFCON hype, and CAF should take advantage of that and come up with something. Yeah, this is now happening, whatnot, whatnot. Whereas with Premier League, they don't even need to do that because people will be searching for it themselves. Even way before they'll start looking, okay, my team matches are coming, so I know I'm going to be setting my time free for this and this and that. But there's a CAF match happening right now, Kanauti, at 8 p.m. You're not even going to like reschedule your time just to go see it because you're not interested in it. You don't have players you like who are playing in any of the matches. So I feel like that's the difference and why it's not getting enough hype.
Yeah.
In your local talents, if you brought a national player for that, maybe you'd get people to start talking about it. Maybe, perhaps.
Nah, definitely I do. But for me, in support of the marketing side, that's my thinking of why African Champions League is the way it is. It starts with the club. Club pusha content and it makes it easier for my media teams and media houses to push. It makes it easier for the respective leagues to push. It makes it easier for the FA to push. Because for Instagram, kubooster akutombotori mari, kungoconnect account yako, then you boost like $2, you've reached 5,000 people, and then what booster again? Utungo booster to booster. Some of your posts you don't even have to boost because now Mato need a fan base already. Yeah, I'm told now. But these guys, they don't do that. I don't get why. I don't get why they don't focus on social media. Because that's how football is. How do you expect to get my sponsors, my millions in your club when you don't even show them what's happening in the club? They don't even have websites, some of them. They don't even have application. App and apps is the way of communication these days. If you're not on Instagram, you can just go on the app and you check, oh yeah, Cape United there's a game on Tuesday. Davana, wadosi vashandisa mapepa nzi why kukana munoita sei.
Yeah, and I agree with you, especially panyaya visibility. It's something that's very important because, like you're saying, a lot of us, vanakutenga Starlink, munesanya data, because right now they need to align themselves with current age and current timeline. Like you're saying, Facebook is a dinosaur app. There's no lie about it. Their audience are not 70 people plus. Their audience is not 40 people plus. Football, if you think about football itself, what's the maximum age you can play football till?
It's like what 30. If the exception is 36, but most people by 33 and up.
Exactly. By 33, what are the most apps people younger than 33 are using? They need to put that into consideration. And not just Zifa itself alone, even some like clubs themselves also need to have their media visibility because Zipa can only do so much. If you search right now for Instagram, certain clubs, they will not have any matches that someone who wants to learn right now about clubs, someone who's trying to get into sports right now, won't be able to get this information unless kind of up to end up knowing a border background. But some people like knowing beforehand. Okay, here I'm expecting number 12 to be this person. I'm expecting this and this and that. I'm expecting to see this. Ndakaona munhu I know kuti ndiye head coach. Ndakaona I know that's captain. Ndakamuona munhu I know that's goalkeeper. And also updating my websites. I feel like there should be certain things Zifa should say. If you're a club, you need certain requirements when it comes to media visibility. Have a website, have an Instagram, have a WhatsApp channel, have a what's it called TikTok account. TikTok optional, but keep it updated because having an account is one thing, but keeping it updated is another thing. Makachinjama players, let your fans know, let your supporters know, because at the end of the game, if you think about sports, it's entertainment. It's really entertainment, your talent and you entertaining people. So if you cannot entertain people, what are you doing it for? You need to cater for people. And we are the ones who are watching. You are in any, we are the ones who are gonna be watching border. When people, these dinosaur Facebook users they won't be going for matches. Of course, we're not gonna corner border and all of that. But if you want people to actually attend games, it's not gonna be old people because old people don't have the time to do that. They can do it as a luxury because usually my matches are on Saturdays and Sundays, which is okay because also that's weekend for us students. We can go watch. But most people who can actually join these matches are the younger people, the youth. So how can they join? How can you expect to turn up when you don't even let them know? Radio stations are one thing. My podcast, yeah, are another thing. But you also, as a club or as Zifa as well, you need to take it also into your hands to actually make time and have your own media visibility. Have your own what's it called? Internet footprint. Be digital because you cannot run away from it. Tobesata kugadzira ma AI account, talk isa information ya toda so because we need that information. We need to see because it's not like I can call any team right now and try find out information. The best and easiest way to do things is to have an account. It's really not difficult. Just make an account, chingochaga muna, and update regularly, and that's all. You're good. There's no excuse to not having media coverage.
Mm, mm. I have noticed on some clubs, like for instance, Ngezi Platinum, they have a good active IG account. Scotland ndo dhara rese muno hantombodonyepe ndo vana vachimaster chigame chemedia ndosaka vane fan base yakakura, and I don't even blame them. Other clubs Huh?
And the thing is with Scotland, I like
Well,
to take them as an example because days, my first days Pavaka Oyaka, it was a bit like, when I this team, what, my size of Scotland by Katanga Okoye. But now they're actually big in it. Like you're saying, Kuti, Mutan, not one of Nakafeka Jesse, Scotland, what not are. These guys are actually doing so well. So their visibility and their efforts, it might not make sense in the beginning. It may feel a bit awkward, but once you start doing it and you get in the groove, it's great.
Ah, no, it's all right. It's all right. And anyways, just to wrap up a little bit, just small updates on my transfers, what has been happening in Zim football and all that. Firstly, let's talk about Peter Love as Scotland's team manager. Highlanders signed the one and only legend Benjani Marwaro, City legend, Baba. The guy was banging goals with people like Michael Richards, man, shaking hands with Wayne Rooney. I don't know if he made Cristiano Ronaldo, but if he
Yeah.
did, good for him. You know, you see, and he's managing Ireland as a high-profile club. You know, that is very quite a reputable history. It is a very good reputable history in Zim and all that. I mean, what do you think about these signings?
I think more connections need to be made. And there needs to be some understanding because like the whole thing with head coach for Scotland also and all of that, I think a lot of changes are being made. A lot of changes are being made, but you also need to think, is this strategic? Cannot you're now just looking for a name? Because sometimes I feel like when I'm signing Anengari just for the name, Kuti, we signed this person, whatnot, whatnot. But like I'm saying Kutima connection, there needs to be a bond between the authoritative leadership and the players. My players are kuirana nema coachere. Will they have a bond? Will they be able to build a relationship together? Will they be able to understand each other? Because someone can be good. I'm not downplaying anyone. Like you're saying, he's been in the Itambira city for a long time and he was doing well. He has a brand to himself. Can his brand align with what Scotland wants? Can these signings do well with all of this? So I think it's very interesting. We can expect quite a lot and I'm like very positive about it. I think it's a turnaround for Zim football so that we are bringing back legends. We're bringing them back and we're putting them in the spotlight. So it's kind of like, you know what? It's also good for you to want to end up taking a future or a career in football. They're like, as we me at 33, like we're saying, after that, I can always end up becoming a coach, managing. It doesn't end here. And I think it's very good that this is happening. So I'm expecting a lot.
Yeah, no. Plus, it's even good matter for your visibility league. Now, imagine City Woti Benjani is now managing his Zim team. City will be now keeping track, makes my Zim leagues better, which will lead to CAF being a big competition. But yeah, anyways, thank you very much for being with us here with the Max team, Tafari and Bryce. And yeah,